So you know what you need to do because your personal Trello board or your schedule says that this needs to get done. But how do you actually do it? Especially when you have multiple things that are on your Trello board that you need to get done. And so this is where multitasking usually comes in for most people. They try to do multiple things at once, and it's actually a myth. Tons of research out there will illustrate that you don't actually do multiple things at once. You switch from one task to the other, and back. And this is a huge waste of your brain's resources. It's a very demanding process for your attention to jump like that. So what you should do instead is focus on one task at a time, and then when you get that done, move on to your next task and check things off the list. And so this actually has a fancy name, this idea, and that's called the Pomodoro technique. Don't get distracted or intimidated or confused by this. All it really is about is structuring your work time so that you focus on one task at a time. And you start off by doing 25-minute intervals of work focused on a single task with nothing else going on, and then giving yourself a 5-minute break and then starting over again. And it's going through these sessions, these Pomodoro sessions as they're called, that you can actually plow through a ton of work very easily using your brain to your advantage. It's centered around a 25-minute timeline because that's about the human attention span, and you might have to adjust that up or down a little bit depending on your personal attention span. But the idea of steady, focused work followed by a break and cycling that process is the core of the idea behind the Pomodoro technique. For the Pomodoro technique to be successful, though, you have to be fiercely protective of your working sessions. And that means that you put your work periods on your calendar. Actually block out that time and say that I'm going to work for an hour. I'm going to do 2 Pomodoro sessions next Tuesday, or whatever your schedule is. Sometimes it might be a longer work session or a shorter one, but if you block it out on your calendar, that's a good first step. If you're in a room with other people, then you're probably going to want headphones on and block out all those other conversations that you might want to jump into. If you have a really witty comment, that's going to pull you out of your work session and change your task and manipulate your focus and be a whole huge problem. So put those headphones on, focus on the task that you're working on, and probably also put your phone in airplane mode so you don't get any distracting snaps that are going to pull you out of your work session again. So protecting that work session by blocking out the outside world is a very, very, very important thing for you to do to make sure that you can really drill down and get that work done. So you might do a great job of blocking out the outside world, but the inside world's going to distract you as well. All kinds of random things pop into your brain. As you know, in the middle of a work session, you might have an urgent need to know which Pixar movie made the most money, or all those other random things that come up. So a great tip from the College Info Geek website and YouTube channel is to keep a piece of paper next to you during your working sessions. And then when all those ideas and thoughts pop into your mind, something for you to look up later or a brilliant multi-million-dollar idea you had, write them down next to you on that piece of paper so they get out of your head, so you stop thinking about it, but you can stay focused and stay in that work session and keep going. And then when you're done your work session, you have tons of things to Google during your 5-minute break. I think it's probably Toy Story 3, by the way, that won the most money for Pixar, but I'm not really sure. I need to Google that real quick.